Is the Jaren Mahomes Hall era over already? I'm going to tell you, man, when we drafted him, I was on board. Obviously, it wasn't my favorite pick in the world, but being that you know me and you know how me and most of the family felt about Kirk Cousins, we were looking for any sign of hope, all right? And last year was a prime example because obviously Kirk Cousins went down, which we don't wish injury on him. We might have not have liked him as our quarterback, but I'm going to tell you, I don't wish injury on nobody, you know what I mean? So, and I'm glad he's able to actually get back healthy and continue his career. As long as he's continuing it somewhere else and not in Minnesota, that's cool with me as a fan of the Minnesota Vikings. But we got to see Jaren Hall play a little bit. And we know going into this offseason, the Vikings already made the move, right? We got our future QB1 in JJ McCarthy. So now we know that something has to change. That's just the reality of this situation. Somebody has to go, all right? You have JJ McCarthy, you have Sam Darnold, you have Nick Mullins, and now you have Jaren Hall sitting back there like, what's up? Is it going to be practice squad shorty? Is he going to be number 3? Are they going to get rid of Nick Mullins? If you had to ask me, I think it's going to be JJ McCarthy, Nick Mullins, Sam Darnold, not in that particular order, but those are going to be the 3 quarterbacks in the quarterback room when it's all said and done. When it comes down to the point of the 53-man roster, those are going to be your guys. And it's kind of sad because, I mean, you think about Jaren Hall, and it's one of those things where the career kind of is over before it starts. And I feel bad because of the circumstances that he had to get thrown into to play. Remember against the Atlanta Falcons, that first drive? I mean, if you're anything like me, watching Jaren Hall play that drive, I was like, yo, we might have something here. Now, it was against the Falcons, who aren't the best team in the world. They're not world beaters. But you saw some things where you were like, maybe this guy could be somebody, man. That's where he earned the name Jaren Mahomes Hall. And then tragedy happened, where he tried to use his legs and he got hit. Welcome to the NFL, got concussed, and that was pretty much it. And then we get to see him one more time. And the time we got to see him, the time he was able to recover from that injury, which thank God he recovered fully, which some people might say he didn't recover fully, and that's showed in his play when he was able to get another opportunity. They were like, there's no way he recovered fully because he was seeing ghosts. You know, he pulled a Sam Darnold. You feel me? Now, this is the thing, man. I want Jaren Hall to have success in this league. I want him to be a backup for the Minnesota Vikings if possible. But I also know in reality, it's probably over for the boy. Now, he can get on the practice squad, or maybe another team sees value in him and they say, hey, you know what? We're going to bring Jaren Hall in and give him an opportunity and let him come out here and show us what he has, because we've seen it happen with Kellen Mond. I mean, Kellen Mond had a way worse start in the NFL than Jaren Hall. I mean, at least Jaren Hall had one drive. At least he had one drive. You feel me? Kellen Mond have nothing, and he was able to stay in the league for about 2 to 3 more years on top of what he showed. And that tells me that there's still light for Jaren Hall. And I know Jaren Hall's a great kid, man. Great dude. I just think that with the Minnesota Vikings picking their quarterback at pick 10 in the 2024 NFL draft, like, I just think it really stuck the dagger in Jaren Hall. And he's probably sitting back right now with his family knowing that this is probably the end, at least in Minnesota. All right, at least in Minnesota, this is probably the end. All right, this is probably the end for him. And we gotta embrace our boy, man, and hope that he gets another opportunity. You never know, though, man. Hey, look here. You think about it, man. Some people got the dog in them where throughout the offseason he's been training hard and he's been putting in the extra work. And you never know what can happen here in the next couple months when training camp starts and he goes out there and he outshines shit. To be honest with you, I'm going to keep it real. I know some of y'all think I'm crazy, but Sam Darnold's not hard to beat out. Sam Darnold is not hard to beat out. He might have experience, but when it comes to skill, he is not hard to beat out. Nick Mullins isn't hard to beat out. I think that Jaren Hall, depending on the work he put in, because I do see certain skills there, he could possibly beat out one of those two. He's not going to beat out Sam Darnold based on the name, based on, him being around, him being the number 3 pick in the draft years ago. Sometimes that will carry you further than what you actually should be carried just because of the name, and people just want to keep holding on to the fact that, well, he was a number 3 pick in the draft 10 years ago. Man, listen, I don't believe in none of that. But, the NFL works a little different. They don't think like we think. They think differently. And sometimes that will carry your career longer than it needs to be, being that they'll use you as a semi-coach and backup. If something does go left, you can put him in there. He'll be comparable. All right, so that's one thing. But what I will say is, Nick Mullins, Jaren Hall has a chance to beat out Nick Mullins if you ask me. I don't think it's going to happen. I believe that Jaren Hall is definitely not making the 53-man roster when it comes to this season. I just don't think it's happening. I think he will be practice squad shorty, and if we need him, we will bring him up. All right, and that's okay, man. I just want to make sure we're here to support him because we gave him the nickname. We was boosting our boy up. We can't forget about our boy. We still got a rep. You know what I mean? We can't just say, you can't just throw him out with the trash. We still got to hold him down. He's still our quarterback. Still one of our quarterbacks. He ain't the quarterback, but he one of our quarterbacks, and we got to make sure we're representing. So let me know how you feel down in the comments. Do you think Jaren Hall can beat out Nick Mullins? Do you think he can get that number 3 quarterback spot? And do you believe there'll be an opportunity for him again? You never know what happens. I mean, injuries happen. Weirder things happen. After the season we had last season, bro, you can't tell me that Jaren Mahomes Hall might not have another shot. After what we saw last season, anything can go down at any given moment, and we know that's how the NFL operates. Let me know how you feel down in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Holla at your boy.
Yeah, smooth summer, who running? I hear them talking, but they ain't gonna do nothing. Celebration, I might have a toast with you. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm terrific. We ain't taking no losses, we winning. Undefeated, check the percentage.